kind of person who wants to do everything herself. I'm a bit of a control freak that way. And my default is to assume that no one else can do it as well as I can, which is of course not true, but it's just my default programming. But as soon as I started outsourcing, I realized what I was missing out on by taking on everything myself, and how much of a relief it is to get some things off my plate. Ever since then, I have been outsourcing like a maniac, and today I simply can't live without it. I have a personal assistant, a virtual assistant, a cook, a cleaner, a dog walker. You name the task, and I've probably outsourced it. I have quite a few demands on my time. I'm a mom, I run an online productivity coaching business with my husband, and I'm an expat living in Medellin, Colombia, trying to navigate a foreign language and culture. So I've gotten a lot of practice with outsourcing because there's an endless number of things on my plate. But not all the tasks I've outsourced were quote unquote worth it. There's been some clear winners and some dismal failures. So here are, without a doubt, the 6 best tasks I've ever outsourced. Number 6 is customer service and billing inquiries. When our business started getting bigger, the volume of these requests increased, obviously, and while each request only takes a few moments to deal with, it was starting to take up a lot of my time. The problem was, I was hesitant to let go of these tasks because it's incredibly important that they be done right. I don't want any mistakes being made that involve money. Once I had my daughter, though, it became obvious that I needed to find a way to get these off my plate because I needed to only be doing work that pushed our business forward in the short hours that I was working. So I started small, and I eventually created a series of SOPs, that's standard operating procedures, to hand off all of our customer service and billing requests to my team. Now, ironically, they're more an expert in this than I ever was. We also gave our customers an ability to handle many of their requests themselves without involving us at all. And the best thing is, we have a well-documented process that new team members can follow once they get onboarded. Number 5 is a group of tasks I like to call annoying errands. These are random things you need to do around town, like drop off a piece of clothing to be taken in, pick up a medicine for your dog, mail something, or return a package from Amazon. After moving to Colombia, the number of these tasks increased because people here like to do things in person. A lot of the things that can be done online in the States have to be done in person here in Colombia. But eventually I figured out a cool little system so that my assistant and a personal driver could do these for me, at least anything that didn't involve my signature. So for example, when I need something altered, my personal assistant, who's bilingual, calls the place ahead of time, tells them what's up, what I want done, and gets the price. Then I pay for it with a quick bank transfer, sort of like Venmo here in Colombia, and then my assistant coordinates the driver to pick up the item from my house, drop it off to be altered, and then the driver picks it up again when it's done. It's a little bit more complicated than it would be in the US because I wouldn't need an assistant to call for me and speak in Spanish. I would only need the driver. But it's been so effective and makes these sorts of annoying things so much easier for me here. The 4th task I've loved outsourcing is video editing. We actually used to do all of our editing ourselves, and we were getting pretty good at it. But the reason we didn't want to outsource it was because it was hard to communicate our exact preferences for each video to somebody else. It really just seemed so much faster to do it ourselves. But it was just not the best use of our time because we aren't professional video editors. We have much more important things to do to grow our business. So what we did instead was standardize every video so that the process for editing was more or less the same for each video. We also had our content manager take over the day-to-day communications with the video editor so that we didn't have to be involved with that revisions process. And she's even improved the process a lot, so the final output is better than it's ever been. By the way, if you're interested in hiring a virtual assistant or an online freelancer, but you're not sure where to start, then check out my course all about how to hire your first virtual assistant. I'll link it in the description. Number 3 is party planning. I never used to throw elaborate parties before I had my daughter because young couples can throw a party just by buying some wine and inviting people over. It's pretty simple. But now suddenly it seems like there's a party every week for a kid's birthday, a holiday, or just for fun. And these parties need themes, decorations, special outfits and costumes, and food for adults and kids, and fun activities. Let's be real, I do not have the time or the interest to plan and throw parties. In fact, after an hour in a party store, I'm ready to just cancel the whole thing altogether and go take a nap. I love to host, but the prepping process is something that I've learned how to outsource. So what I do is I find inspiration photos on Pinterest, I set my budget, and then I ask my assistant to do the decorations shopping and sourcing for anything we need. So the balloons, tablecloths, cakes, photographer, anything. So she shops and texts me photos of what she's found via WhatsApp. I approve all the items, and then she just drops it off at my house. If I want to have homemade food and snacks, I ask my cook to prep everything on the Friday before the party and leave it in the fridge. Then, on the day of the party, I actually have time to do my hair, do my makeup, instead of frantically cooking and prepping everything. The second best task is Facebook ads. I've been in charge of our ads since the very beginning of Lifehack Method. It's been all me. But now our business is growing rapidly, and this learning process was great for the business because I figured out what worked and what didn't work when it came to ads and which channels converted well for us and all that stuff. But again, once I had our daughter, we decided to get this off my plate because I really wasn't doing it justice. And even though hiring an agency to do this for us is expensive and normally not a cost I would want to incur, it's been high ROI for us for 2 reasons. The first is they're saving me quite a bit of time. Ads can be time consuming and require constant testing and finagling. It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing. The second reason it's been worthwhile is because they were able to improve on my existing process. A few of the agency's ideas have resulted in much higher conversions for us, so we've been able to grow faster than before too. And finally, the best thing I've ever outsourced is cooking. Here in Medellin, Colombia, we have a cook who makes all of our food Monday through Friday. I write the menu and she does everything else, all the ordering, all the cooking, all the cleanup. And here's a few reasons why this is the best thing I've ever outsourced. First is, we save a lot of money on food, because if we were in charge of cooking for ourselves, we would end up eating out a lot more than we do, and that costs a lot more. Another thing is we know what's in our food this way. It's all fresh, natural, healthy ingredients, and we can control exactly what we eat and when. A third reason is the time we save by not having to cook and do dishes. And a fourth is that we can have tasty dishes that we wouldn't want to try making ourselves, but that our cook loves to do because she loves trying new recipes and she has the time to get them right. What's funny is I used to love cooking for myself. I was super into it. But the truth is nowadays, I would rather be spending my time doing other things during the week, like having quality playtime with my daughter or taking a walk with my husband. Plus, I still get the chance to cook for myself on the weekends. So food preparation is by far the highest ROI thing that I've ever delegated. These are just a few things that I've outsourced, but there are honestly so many more, including epic fails. Should I make a video about my top 5 delegation fails? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're obsessed with human potential and living your best life like we are, consider subscribing to this channel and joining our journey to complete lifestyle freedom. See you in our next video.